If I tell you that one female rabbit can give you up to 50 rabbits in 1 year, maybe you say it's impossible, maybe you say it's possible, but I've been a rabbit farmer for more than 2 years, and anything I tell you that it's possible in rabbit farming, yes, it is. If you're someone who is aspiring to start up a rabbit farm, or who has already started up a rabbit farm, or who just has the passion and want to start up a rabbit farm, in this video, I'm going to be telling you guys basically everything you need to know as a beginner rabbit farmer. This video is going to guide you through the do's and don'ts of rabbit farming and those things you need to first look out for if you are starting up a rabbit farm. Just come with me. Before you start up a rabbit farm, I would advise you to put a few things in place. First of all, your cage, the feed they are going to eat once they come into your farm, your feeders, this plate you are seeing here, and then a very good water source, clean water. If you do not put your cage in place, let's say for instance you want to put them in an open space, let's say like in a house or maybe in a room that you have, you just want to put them there, make sure you have your feeders, your feeds, and a clean water. I know you might not have your money for the cage, or you might have a room you want to use. Yes, you could do a free range system whereby your rabbits roam around a particular room, or you use the cage system. But for me, I use the cage system. So whichever one you decide to do, just make sure their housing is intact, their feeds are intact, their feeders are intact, then a very good water source is very, very important. So you might just be passing and you see me cutting these grasses like this. You might think I've gone mad. But no, I'm actually cutting them to feed my animals. And this leaf you are seeing here is centrosema. This is a centrosema leaf. It's one of the leaves that rabbits love so much. Yeah. So if I cut it this way, all I need to do is put it inside my bag and I'll take it to the farm and feed it to my animal. But out here, this leaf is useless, but to me, it is not. It is very, very useful. As you can see, I'm not cutting all of the leaves here. I'm cutting a selected one. You can see, I'm cutting a particular type of leaf, just one type. And also when you are cutting, you need to be very, very careful on where you are cutting from, because not everywhere is safe to cut leaves for your animals, so you don't get them infected leaves and you start treating what you don't know. Yeah, so it's better you cut from where it's clean, that you know that okay, the leaves you are getting for them is very, very safe for them to eat. And also, if you cut these leaves, you also need to wash it a bit before giving it to them. So let's take this to the farm. If you have where you could get leaves like this for your rabbits, it's a very, very good way to feed them. They eat a lot of things. They eat leaves, they eat feeds, they eat forages, and also eat some kind of kitchen waste, but not too much. They also like fruits. Let's say fruits like watermelons, carrots, as you guys used to see. But when you want to feed them carrots, it's better you feed them the green part of the carrots. It's always better than feeding them that orange part. We were being told when we're small that rabbits eat the orange part of the carrots, but the orange part of the carrots can actually cause your rabbit diarrhea. So it's better you feed them that greenish part. Yes. So this is a centrosema leaf we just cut, and I'm feeding it to them. It's either you wash it after cutting it from the bush. It's either you wash it with salt, which I used to do, or you keep it under a shade a bit for it to wilt. Then you can now feed it to them. Mostly I avoid feeding leaves to my little rabbits, like the little bunnies. I have some reasons why I avoid feeding them leaves. Some reasons are because those bacteria from the bush or from the forest where I cut it from, those little bunnies might not be able to handle them if they start affecting them, but these bigger ones can handle them better. Starting up a rabbit farm is very, very easy. And once you have your cage, your feeders, your water, and your feeds available, the next thing you might want to ask is, what kind of rabbit should I buy? And I would want to recommend, when you are starting up a rabbit farm for the first time and you have zero knowledge about rabbit farming, I'd advise you to go for a grower rabbit. When I say grower rabbit, I mean a medium-sized rabbit. In my previous video, I told you guys that rabbits have 3 stages: a mature one, a grower, and a weaner. A weaner is the one that have not yet been separated for their mother, or that have been newly separated for their mother. But the grower are like just in between the mature and the small ones. So they are like 2 to 3 months to 4 months thereabouts. I'd advise you to go for those ones. They are not yet mature and they are not too small. Why I did not advise you guys to go for the weaner, which is the smaller ones, is that they might be too fragile for you to handle. And why I did not advise you guys to go for the mature one is that the mature one might start giving birth immediately and you might not be able to handle the babies. So I'd advise you go for the growers and start feeding them till they get to maturity. While feeding them, you learn the process on how to feed them, how to clean their cage. You learn some of the characters of this rabbit. I can't teach you everything. You need to experience something yourself so that you are going to know it yourself. As they say, experience is the best teacher. So before your rabbits get to maturity, by then you have known some few things about them. You have known rabbit care and you have known how to take care of their babies. The reason why you need to learn this is that so that when your rabbit is at maturity and start giving birth, the babies won't start dying. Yes, you need to learn how to take care of those little babies, because the little baby rabbits are born hairless. They don't used to have hair when they are born, so they're always very, very fragile. So you need to learn how to take care of them so that they can survive, because that's where you make your money from. But once you can grow them to winner or grower stage, then you can start selling those your babies. Yes, so while you get the grower rabbits, you grow them to maturity. You learn breeding, rabbit breeding, you learn rabbit care, and you learn how to take care of the babies. Let me tell you a bit on how to breed your rabbits. If you want to breed your rabbit, let's say you have a mature male rabbit and you have a mature female rabbit and you want to breed them, all you need to do is take the female rabbit to the male rabbit cage and put it there. They will breed themselves if the female is on heat. But that's not the reason for this video, so let's not divert from that. When making your rabbit cage, make sure their droppings can come through this place. Like their droppings does not stay with them. Make sure their droppings can come through their housing. Their droppings has a hole inside this cage where it can go through and drop on this particular zinc here. Their dropping does not have to stay with them. It makes them cleaner. Like, let me show you one of these rabbits. It's really, really clean. As you guys can see, this is the body of this particular rabbit. There's no dirt on it. The reason is because of the cage system I did. If your cage is a wooden cage, you could also use like a net on the floor so that their dropping can go through. That way your rabbit is very, very clean. And clean environment is equals to clean rabbits. Healthy environment is equals to healthy rabbit. If your environment is not healthy for the rabbit, that means they tend to get sick. So the first thing you need to look out for is how to make a very, very good cage system for them. A cage that will have a lot of ventilation, a cage that would not allow them to be dirty. Will not allow them to be dirty in the sense that their droppings will not be staying with them. Their droppings come through, drops on this particular zinc, and it's being swept out. I see my rabbit cages at least once in 2 to 3 days. I used to sweep it. I don't let the droppings to stay here. As you can see, this place is very, very clean. After getting all these things I've just mentioned, the next thing you need to get are your medications. Yes, because your rabbit might tend to get sick once in a while, so you might need to put some medications in place for them, so that when they get sick, you don't start running up and down and say, how do you treat them, and by then your rabbit might almost be dying. So I prefer you give them preventive measures than allowing them to get sick. You guys know what they say, prevention is always better than cure. So we have ivermectin, we have antibiotics, we have multivitamin, we have some liquid drugs. Like, I have done an exclusive video on the medications you need to get for your rabbits. You might need to check it out. But what I'm trying to put out there is that do not start without getting these medications in place. Try to get it. These are animals, they are living things, they tend to get sick once in a while. Have these medications, learn how to inject them. For me, I know how to inject them. You might also want to learn. That means if you don't know how to inject them, you might always want to be using a vet. And as a farmer, I advise you learn how to inject them so that you know what and what to do. And once they are sick, you know how to inject them, you know the medication to give. You might want to learn all these things. This video is basically to show you all the things you need to put in place to start up your rabbit farm. Because in my previous video, a lot of you guys were like, how do I start? I want to start. What and what do I need to do? Which kind of rabbit do I need to get? For a starter, I would advise you go for a New Zealand white rabbit. They are very, very great rabbits. If you can't get a New Zealand white rabbit, you can still get an Hyla rabbit, or you can get a Palomino rabbit. They are very, very good rabbits, but always try to get hybrids or pure breeds. I won't really advise you to go for the local breeds because their growth rate is always very, very slow. And there are a lot of people out there selling local breeds and you won't really know. So I've done a video on how to tell differences about hybrids and local breeds. You might need to check out the video so you don't make mistakes. Or you can join my WhatsApp group, which I'll be putting the link on the comment section. You can join the WhatsApp group to ask some questions and some things you might really want to know more details on rabbit farming. If you are someone who is interested, I have a rabbit group for African rabbit farmers that have almost 1,000 members. So you might want to join before that group gets full. So thank you for watching this video. Do have a nice day. Until next time, I'm going to be coming up with more and more updates on my farm, on rabbits. I'm back to back for you guys. Thank you for watching. Do have a nice day. Until next time.